Hi, Pastor John Kiske here with another word for the week. I don't know if you're old enough to remember Johnny Carson, a late night talk show host, kind of like Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel now. Johnny Carson was asked kind of a funny question in an interview one time. He was asked, "What would you want on your gravestone?" And he thought about it for a moment, and what must have come to mind for him was what he usually said before he went to a commercial break: "I'll be right back." Johnny Carson was, a funny guy, but perhaps he was avoiding the subject like many people want to do about death. Jesus, of course, didn't avoid that at all. Towards the end of his life, he kept reminding his followers that he had to die, and they didn't really want to hear about that. But they had to, because Jesus' crucifixion, as horrible as it was, would remove their guilt. And then his rising again would be like CPR for their faith, just like it is for ours. Because our faith can sometimes struggle even without our knowing it. We may struggle with the guilt, even though Jesus, God, reminds us that we're forgiven. And maybe sometimes we even try to blame others for our sins. We can sometimes fail to see God working good in spite of the evils in our lives, or sometimes just kind of give up hope. Well, that's when Jesus is there with his appearances, so that with his rising from the dead can raise to life our failing faith. That's really what he did when he first appeared to his disciples. Not in ways that maybe they wanted, or kind of like what we want, to show how he's turning our lives around, but really to show himself as the one who is dead, but came to life again. In fact, the way that he did that for his disciples was for him to appear to Thomas, to examine him as truly being alive, and with that appearance, to bring about faith that had been failing or even wasn't there anymore. In fact, this is what he said to Thomas: "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." And so that's how Jesus continues to raise up our failing or dying faith, by continuing to appear to us with the many eyewitness appearances that are there for us in the scriptures. And that's what happened this last Sunday in church. We saw some more of those appearances even after Easter Sunday, just like you can by going back to the Bible, or by going back to last Sunday in the video that can be seen there in our video-based posting there. I'd encourage you to do that, to go back to April 12th, Easter 2, or maybe even to join us this coming Sunday and to have more of those appearances of Jesus, and for him to continue to appear in that way, to raise up a faith that often is faltering without those. I hope you can maybe join us this coming weekend at 5:30 on Saturday evening, or on Sunday morning at 9, either present or being there, present with us, or in our online stream. God bless.